Canada.
Well, let's not waste any more time on it, Lisa. I'm excited about this. Let's go ahead and get started. We still have some people rolling in here. This is, again, being recorded, so we'll post that later on if you need to go back and rewatch it. My name is Ernest Enriquez. I'm a product director here with Inside Real Estate. And really one of the things that I really focus on here is helping agents build their business. And we do that in a couple different ways, right? With products that we have in marketplace, with coaching. If you've ever gone through one of Annalisa's coaching sessions, we really try and help you as the agent, the realtor, the broker out there, really kind of increase your business revenue and really make, one product be an all-in-one platform. That's our ultimate goal here. That's our motto. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Tired of Zillow. I just want to reference kind of my background history. Some of you might know me, some of you might not. That's not me carrying a big head over my shoulder, but I was an ex-real estate agent in the field. I used to be a Washington State real estate agent. So I know the struggles of getting your own leads, of generating, that good quality, high intent leads. And I know there are sources out there like Zillow, Realtor.com, and some of those other big dogs out there that will try and resell you information that you can get for less cost. And really, that's kind of what we want to talk about. So I understand kind of the flow of what Zillow does, how it works, and we're always trying to keep up with those trends. And one of the things that we hear often is, agents are tired of Zillow, but they don't know what products to go use, how to do it, how to really kind of recreate that spinning wheel. And that's what we want to talk about here today with kvCORE is how are you going to recreate what Zillow has done with the real estate industry, but maybe for a lower cost? Because really, who wants to be spending $2,500 a month on lead gen when you can spend a lot less than that and recreate that same kind of experience for the consumer? So on the first, go ahead, Annalisa.
Well, and I was really going to say, this is a good time for, because the year is coming to a close. You can really look at auditing your costs that are separate outside of kvCORE and consider what we do have within, whether it is default in our system or an add-on, because odds are it's going to be a more budget-friendly consolidation than paying Zillow the big Zillow bucks.
Right. Yeah. One of the things that, and you hit it on the head, Annalisa, is one of the things that I really used to like to focus on this time of year is next year's goals, right? Start getting my next year planned out. What products am I going to start buying? And you've probably heard this if you're maybe new to the real estate industry, or maybe you're experienced. We've all heard it. But you're not building for tomorrow, you're building for 30, 60, 90 days from now. So what you start doing today will start having an impact in 30 days, will start having an impact in 60 days, and 90 days, and so forth. And it's like the saying goes, we don't want to necessarily just because we've got one deal, stop looking for the next deal. We want to continue to fill our pipeline. And that's really what we like to emphasize on here is continue to fill your pipeline, continue to build out your follow-up, continue to really kind of use that evolving technology that's going to get you engagement with your contacts. It's going to generate you responses and so forth. But first, I want to just talk a little bit about how Zillow works. So we've all been on Zillow.com. I'm guilty of it. We just bought a new house here in July. And even being a real estate agent, I still used Zillow just because of the area that we're moving to. You really need to stand out as the market expert when somebody goes to do a search in the area of which you service. So one way, and kind of the first way that a user or a contact lands on Zillow's website is through like a Facebook or a Google ad. Right? So they're going into their Google browser, they're typing in homes for sale, San Jose, homes for sale, Nashville, homes for sale, Tampa Bay, wherever it might be that they're looking to relocate or move to, they're typing in those keywords. And then what's happening from that point on is Zillow, being the website that's always at the top rank, is setting a tag that then starts retargeting those same people who have visited their website via Facebook, right? So if you've ever gone on to Zillow, now all of a sudden you're seeing a carousel of new listings in the area that you were just searching. Zillow's just done a really great job at basically doing the end-to-end marketing is what I like to call it. But you don't have to sign up for Zillow to get that full effect. And that's what we're going to talk about today. The next step also is once they find a home that they like, they're given 3 options, right? So now I've landed on Zillow, I'm looking at homes, looking at photos. Now they're able to schedule tours, they're able to start an offer, and they're also able to contact an agent, right? That's the second step in which these contacts are taking on Zillow. And then once they select their option, one of 2 things could happen. They're connected with a live agent, and we know those to be known as Zillow connections, or a text goes out to them and some sort of follow-up or nurture campaign starts on Zillow's end. You're then given that contact information as the agent who's participating in marketing in that zip code, right? And that's the number 4 step. Is the next thing that happens, the agent who owns the highest market share are entitled to leads based on the anticipated percentage of leads. So basically, we can anticipate 100 leads for 78247. We're going to divvy that up based off of how much you, the agent, are willing to pay. So who's going to pay me $2,500 a lead? If you're not going to pay me $2,500 a lead, who's going to pay me $1,800 a lead? Oh, you're going to pay me $1,800 a lead, or 4 leads for the highest market share. You're going to get 73 leads a month for X amount of dollars. And that's kind of, I use that example because it's not really accurate. If you've ever been on Zillow, you'll notice that Zillow is super expensive, right? It's super, super expensive unless you're buying some of the outlining zip codes that aren't necessarily going to have the best return or ROI for the cost of leads of which you're paying for, right? So here's a screenshot for a zip code with the average home price of $475,000. And you could see that for 43% of the share, we're at about almost $2,200. And my estimated outcome in connections is about 2.6 with additional leads of about 2.1. So I'm only going to get 4 leads technically, because I don't know anybody out there that's 0.7 of a person. So we're going to only get about 4 leads, maybe 5 if they're feeling generous, but we're technically going to get about 4 leads. Now, the connections is where you're going to be sold on the cost is on Zillow, because again, a connection is just somebody who's basically raised their hand, right? They said, hey, I'm ready to talk to an agent. Maybe I want to go see this house. But it doesn't mean they're not already working with an agent. It doesn't mean they have a pre-approval in their hand. They're not necessarily ready right out of the gate to go and write an offer on a property, right? It's just a connection. And that's why they used kind of that terminology. Go ahead on. You have a question?
No, I was just going to say that's a really good point. And I wanted to point out, like, a couple of people were like going 43%. Basically, you're purchasing 43% of that availability of that particular zip code, correct?
Correct. Yeah. Of the availability. So 43%, maybe there's about 10 leads or 12 leads in this zip code. Either way, it's a lot.
It's low.
If you break it down, in terms of connections, like how many conversations as an agent am I going to start for my $2,200? And that boils down to about $1,000 per lead. So at $475, let's say 2.5%, you're going to make $7,500, but you spent $1,000 to get that 1 lead, right? And then out of the $7,500, your broker's still going to take their 20%, still going to take their 10%. You're still going to pay your transaction fees. You're still going to pay your E&O. None of that goes away. You're just paying Zillow $1,000 for the lead. And this isn't necessarily like a scare. You know, some people are willingly going to pay this because you want to have all areas of your marketing covered, right? You want to be on every single website. But there's better kind of advertising products out there in per se that we have, right, within our marketplace, and everything's integrated into the kvCORE platform. So you're not going to have to go to Zillow and manage leads out of Zillow and kvCORE. You can manage everything from within kvCORE. All right. So the next slide is just really going to talk about, so how do we replicate that? What does the follow-up look like, right? We talked about, okay, leads are landing on Zillow because they're going to Google, they're typing in homes for sale San Jose or Tampa Bay or Nashville or San Antonio, and they're landing on Zillow's link because Zillow is one of the top ranked on there, right? So we have products like Get Buyer Leads that are in our marketplace, and I probably should go back real quick because I didn't mean to click on that. We have a product for Get Buyer Leads that basically does what it says. It leverages Facebook's lead form to capture as much quality information about a contact as possible. So we're going to run ads to market specific audiences that are looking to, buy a home. We're going to leverage a lot of the interest. Maybe they have Zillow or realtor.com. Maybe they're interested in mortgages. We're going to use a lot of those interests to kind of define our audience. And then we're going to target those people with your Facebook ads. And as they click on it, we're going to capture a form that they've already pre-filled on Facebook that's about 80 to 90% accurate. And then that information is brought into your kvCORE automatically, right? So that's already done for you. And that's our Get Buyer product, right? So our Get Buyer Leads product. And let me show you these while we go through these, because I think it's important to reference where you're actually going to find these. So inside of Marketplace, you're going to go into Marketplace and we're going to see this leads tab up here. That's basically going to show us all of our advertising products for, Google pay-per-click. And that also ties into Get Buyer Leads, right? Managed Google pay-per-click ads. This is essentially what Zillow's doing. They're going and they're advertising on Google search engines to advertise to people who type in keywords. For instance, if I go to my Google and type in homes for sale San Antonio, you're going to see that, we have Realty San Antonio, and there's some agents out there actually doing a really good job here. That's surprising. But you'll also see that Zillow's kind of organically on that top search, right? So with the managed Google pay-per-click ads, we're going to show your ads to people who are actively searching those real estate keywords. So homes for sale San Antonio, homes for sale San Jose, homes for sale X area, or whatever area it might be. The other go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, and with the use of this program, our lead generation for the Get Buyer Leads, it learns by itself. Like the AI part of it is it learns how to improve on itself as the age of the advertisement that's pushed out there grows. So, it gains traction. It learns how to make these adjustments while this is running, which is really key and really awesome.
Right. No, absolutely, Annalisa. You hit it on the head with that one. It's constantly looking to improve how your ad performs, which is the really cool thing about Google Ads. Is it's not going to start, like if you're getting low quality leads or conversions from a specific interest, it starts to learn to not show your ads to those people with that interest, right? It will start optimizing your ad based off of conversions at a higher percentage. We also have the Facebook AI advertising and retargeting. Remember a moment ago, I was talking about Zillow advertising on Google. And then all of a sudden you're on your Facebook page and now you have those ads basically being replicated inside of your newsfeed, right? That's what Facebook AI advertising and retargeting is going to do. Not only is it going to drive fresh traffic to your kvCORE website, but we're also going to retarget the audience in which is visiting your website, right? So anybody who's been set onto your website is going to have a tag set so that we can retarget that person with the listings on your website. Right?
It really helps build your brand recognition and your name and your photo, like, your whole image for the area, being an expert in that area. The more people see your information peppered around.
Exactly. Yeah, the more branding, the more people you can put your face in front of, the better opportunities you're going to create for yourself, right? So we have the Google pay-per-click ads. We also have the Facebook AI advertising and retargeting. And I also just want to kind of throw Core Property Boost out there as well. If you're a listing specialist, maybe you highlight in listings, or maybe you just got a brand new listing and you want to kind of drive some traffic to view that listing, but also drive maybe new lead subscriptions. Core Property Boost will be that product for you in order to be able to not only impress your sellers, but also drive buyer leads, right? Maybe you can try and find the buyer for it. If you're in a state where maybe double ending a listing is not the best thing, you could actually pass that, that buyer lead off to another agent in your office if you wanted to. But Core Property Boost is just a really good way to get buyer leads as well. The other cool thing with Core Property Boost is if you want to advertise listings from within your office, if you have permission to do so from the listing agent or from your office or brokerage, We have a lot of agents actually use Core Property Boost to start generating a book of business as well, right? So pretty cool. Core Property Boost, believes starts off at $69 for a 7-day boost. Facebook AI advertising and retargeting, I want to say starts off at about $250 to $500-ish with the advertising itself. So when you go to sign up here, you'll basically type in your monthly budget, right? So $250 for the buyer advertising. And then Google is going to be a little bit more expensive, but Google starts off right at about $750 per month. And that's going to get you set up on those keyword searches. So you can see how easily we can kind of piggyback 2 products off of each other if we wanted to. And essentially, we're still only at $1,000 for these 2 products, right? Meanwhile, we're spending $2,100 a month on Zillow. So we still have about $1,000 to go ahead and play with. And that's where the number 2 comes into here. If you're tired of Zillow, Core Premium Video, one of the really, really big things that you can do as an agent is make sure you're having some sort of speed to lead. And what I mean by that is when a lead signs up, you should be calling, you should be texting, you should also be emailing. And one of the kind of best things that you can do as an agent to create more engagement is being personal. Being personal with a contact right out of the gate is going to not only give you a better chance of converting that lead, but it's going to build a better relationship over the long term or the longevity of that relationship with you and that contact. So being personal through Core Video is one of the best things that you can do, because not only can you send one-off videos, when you're a Core Video Premium subscriber, you can essentially embed those videos into smart campaigns. So maybe instead of like shooting five or 6 videos because you're getting new leads every single day, you can go and purchase Core Video Premium. And then once you do so, it gives you the ability to basically pre-record videos. So at that point, you unlock a window of opportunity where you can now go ahead and inside of your marketing autopilot section, you'll be able to build templates that are with Core Video, right? So maybe you want to create an email that has a, hey, this is Ernest with Inside Real Estate. Thanks for signing up on my website. Just wanted to reach out, let you know I'm a real person. If you have any real estate related questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to answer those. Looking forward to hearing back from you, right? You could shoot that quick 15 to 30-second video and have that automatically go out every time you get a new lead buyer or even a new lead seller. You can start incorporating those Core Video templates into your smart campaigns, right? So here, what I would do is I would go ahead and I would add a template. I can add an SMS. Go ahead and insert like a video that I've kind of pre-recorded already, right? And again, these are things that Zillow's already doing, right? They have a follow-up campaign when a lead registers. There's people getting on the phone and calling, which we're going to get to here in a second. But you could also kind of increase your chances of converting, those Google leads, those Facebook leads that we're generating for you through these methods. So now your new lead buyer campaign has a video embedded into it. They can see you're a real person. They know it's not just some computer messaging them, and you can make it very kind of heartwarming and tug at some strings, right? So we'll have the ability with Core Video Premium or Core Premium Video to basically insert those video templates into our smart campaigns. You can also use it via the mobile app. So maybe you do want to be that agent because you're not getting bombarded with new leads. Maybe you're getting 5 to 6 new leads a day. We could use Core Premium Video via the mobile app, and I can shoot a selfie video and say, hey, Annalisa, it's Ernest. Thanks for signing up on my website, and so forth, right? We can make that personal connection with Annalisa and via Core Premium Video.
And I think what's important to note here is if you're nervous about getting into video and you're like, yeah, I don't know about putting me on the camera, no. But maybe you want to start getting into video. What you can think about, and we've done some recent webinars on this, and you can find them all at insiderealestate.com/webinar. But you think a little more globally. about your business. So you could do a quick market report of your area. Just go to your website, do a quick screen grab recording of your website about a specific market report, a specific new listing they might be interested in. Take you maybe 2 minutes, send it out the door. And then you can also create calls to action from, maybe you had an open house and they're all coming in via your open house app. Well, you can set up your campaign to say, hey, thanks for coming to 123 Main Street. Here's what to expect from me. I'll be in touch to set up some alerts or what have you, but you can lay that expectation of, thank you for coming. Here's what we saw. This is how I'll follow up with you, and then start that relationship building. So there's different ways you can get the video across if you just don't want to be on camera. Like me, look at me. I'm like, that's when my hair looked nice 2 years ago. I mean, it's been like a pandemic, guys. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, we're all human. So if you don't want to be in front of the camera, you don't have to be. You can focus on information that's going to benefit your whole database.
Yeah, absolutely. And that kind of ties into our third one here, Annalisa, as well, as core voicemail drop.
Yep.
Maybe you're not a video person, but maybe you still want to make sure that they can hear your voice. They know you're not some sort of robot still. Core voicemail drop is another kind of feature that you can add, again, into smart campaigns. And I think I'm sharing the right screen right here. Into your smart campaign. So I can go ahead and sit down when I have some time and I can record or pre-record a voicemail that I then again embed into like my new lead buyer campaign or my new lead seller campaign, or maybe I just have it kind of stored in my library for when I get a new lead and then I fire it off because I want to be selective as to who gets it and who doesn't, right? You have the ability to actually do that. So that kind of ties into that maybe fear of being on camera, which I actually did a webinar not too long ago. So if you haven't been on our YouTube page, Annalisa, maybe we'll link that Overcoming the Fear session with Alicia Baruti over at BombBomb,
Yeah.
so
And
that they can check it out.
I wanted to point out, I've seen some questions like, well, what if I just create my own video on like Vimeo, YouTube, what have you? Can I put that in a smart campaign or a one-off message? You can. Just keep in mind the biggest difference is with the core premium video partnered with BombBomb, that actually embeds into the messaging so they can watch it within the message you're sending. If you're going to use something like Google, or not Google, but YouTube, Vimeo and so forth, you would actually just drop the link and hyperlink that information into the campaign. So both work. It's just basically, do you want them to have to do a step to get to the video, or do you want them just to be able to watch it right there from what you're sending them?
Yeah, and I think the other thing on that subject too, Annalisa, is that with like YouTube and stuff like that, it's just a little bit harder if you're on the go. And I know most of you are on the go, maybe showing homes, running listing appointments. The core video integration with the mobile app, it works really, really well. So you'll be able to shoot that selfie video right from your phone and send it to that contact, which would make it a little bit harder with like the YouTube links because you don't have the advanced editor inside of, the mobile device or anything like that. So kind of another point on the core premium video.
And I was going to say on core voicemail drops, some people are saying, well, isn't that kind of impersonal? I think it's how you approach it and how you build it into your communication. So if you think of it as maybe you sent a day 5 of a new seller campaign. Day 5 is like, hey, did you get my CMA that I sent you? Then you could have a follow-up voicemail go the next day or later that day saying, hey, just checking in. I emailed you a CMA the other day. I'd really love to be able to talk with you, get in front of you, see your home in person so we can make sure we're giving it the correct valuation. So you can kind of plan your communications and then that voicemail dropped follow-up. Because I mean, as consumers, we kind of we're like, and at the end of the day, like, yeah, I'm good with the phone sometimes as consumers, but in business, we're like, answer your phone, so you just have to kind of think of and pick and choose, and then also kind of think about how you respond to different types of communication and ask your friends how they respond. Do a little market research of your people, and that gives you great insight into people in general itself.
Right. Yeah. And the other thing to this topic that I personally did, I was a skeptic of, core voicemail drop as well at first. I was like, this is a little impersonal. But some of the methods that agents really kind of come up with are just mind blowing. Like it's really, really cool. Like what I personally did in my personal business at the time was I would send the voicemail drop immediately saying, "Hey, Annalisa, I noticed you signed up on my website, blah, 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 blah." But I would also follow up 5 minutes later with the video just saying, "Hey, I just sent you, I left you a voicemail," and so forth, right? So I would kind of piggyback the two off of each other so it didn't sound so impersonal. But you're also, again, trying to get in contact with them as soon as possible. Again, these are things that Zillow does, and these are the reasons why they're able to sell those leads at such astronomical prices, because their follow-up, when somebody registers or says, "I'm ready to talk to an agent," they have somebody on the phone within 30 seconds, right? So our goal here is to not make you hire, a big ISA team, right? That has to sit there and wait for your leads to come in so that they can call them. The idea here is that you'll replicate those steps to get responses, right? You'll send a video and receive a response. You'll send a voicemail and get a call back, right? So these are things that we want you as the agent to have in your arsenal so that you're constantly generating those results, but not having to sit behind a phone 24/7 and manually do it, or pay somebody $3,000 a month just to have two contacts to talk to every month. And then the last thing on here that I want to really kind of put some emphasis on is CORE Concierge. So we're talking about replicating what Zillow's done. We're tired of spending a ton of money on Zillow. What a lot of agents can do is you can buy the Google ads or the Google ads and Facebook ads and still piggyback CORE Concierge off of them and still be at about half the cost of what you're going to be spending on Zillow. And with CORE Concierge, the real human follow-up, these are people following up with the contacts in which you select them to follow up with. So if you want them to only work your Google leads, they'll only work your Google leads. If you only want them to work property boost leads, you could set them up to work only property boost leads, right? And CORE Concierge is found also in Marketplace. Again, this is something that would be done for you, meaning that you're just going to feed them the leads. They're going to work them and let you know when they're ready to speak to an agent, right? So CORE Concierge is, it's right here. And this, you get to select the customer of which they work, right? So you get to go here, select who the customer is, which would be you. And when you go ahead and add it to your kvCORE, they're going to ask you questions. I'm going to continue. Tells you how it works. Then you get your cost. So for up to 50 contacts per month, it's about $350. Of course, it goes up from there. But again, the idea here is like what Zillow's done. They're running Google ads, they're running Facebook ads, they're constantly feeding their ISA team, and then they're turning around. And once those ISA teams qualify a candidate, they then turn around and sell that candidate's information to the agent. The other really big takeaway, and Annalisa, I'm glad that you brought this up, is that with kvCORE, we're not selling, the information that you're obtaining. So if you generate a lead, that's your contact information. We're not going to turn around and sell that same contact information to another agent for
our websites are very safe. Inside Real Estate doesn't do anything with any of the registrant information, so you can always assure your people that they can surf safely on our secure websites that you're tied to. And that allows them to look at listings, save listings, set up their own alerts, favorite a listing, and everything they do on there, or even create a market report by themselves. Everything they do there leads to further illumination to you on your dashboard. So it's like everything they do is a little yellow brick road of information landing right back to you, the agent behind the curtain, per se. And there's my metaphor of the day.
Yeah. So you're going to get the contact information. We're not picking stuff out of the basket. That's your contact information, and you can be assured of that, right? So I want to just talk on some bulletin points on each of these products that we've talked about. So for example, Core Video Premium. There are a lot of other use cases with Core Video that you can leverage. So for example, happy birthday videos, anniversary videos, home-iversary videos. There's just a really kind of a gauntlet of ideas that you can leverage Core Video to kind of implement, right? So, You can go and say, hey, I can't believe it's been a year, shoot a selfie video. Most agents are doing pop buys as well. So you could say, hey, expect something on your doorstep here in the next 2 to 3 days. Hope you enjoy it. Get back to me if you know anybody else, maybe a neighbor thinking of selling or a friend thinking of buying. I'd be happy to assist any referrals that you have, right? So just a really kind of cool way and creative way to generate and maximize the ability of core premium video.
And I mean, I'm not sure, I was reading questions for a moment there, but I wanted to make sure you pointed out, like, you could even be targeting people in specific groups in your sphere, specific groups who are your trusted partners, like your landscapers, your builders, and send them a quick video like, hey, here's where I'm seeing this activity, or these are the things that I'm hearing about. How's business there? And even talk with them about if you provide them like a trusted partner information on your own website, then maybe they'll do the same for you and have some copacetic, barter in advertising there on each other's site. So there's ways you can approach this to really build relationships with your contacts as well as your business contacts.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, not trying to get derailed from Zillow, but kind of what Annalisa was mentioning right there. I know everybody's head's probably spinning with ideas right now with core video, core voicemail, core concierge, buyer leads. Some of the things that, like, for example, core video can do for you is maybe you're a new agent, right? And one thing as a new agent that I really encourage you to do, because I've been in those shoes, is try and upload 5 to 10 contacts into that you know of in your sphere of influence. Get those people into your database, start getting them set up on a campaign specific to their scenario. Maybe they're renters, maybe they're homeowners, but within that sphere, maybe these are friends, maybe these were ex-coworkers. You might know their birthdays or you might not, but you could actually start going in and filtering out by your sphere of influence. And then what I would be doing with core video, since I can send as many videos as I want, I would go and just select all my contacts, click on video message, and it's not going to let me do this because I'm on Zoom. So let me turn off my camera for Zoom for a quick second. I'm going to open my video recorder. And then once my video recorder is open, I'll be able to then shoot a video and just say, hey, everyone, I just wanted to send this video to you, let you know I put you in my database. So if you get some emails from me, that is me sending you those emails. I just wanted to let you know that if I've become a real estate agent, I got my license, and if you know anybody, or even if you're contemplating buying or selling a house, I'd be more than happy to help you out. Don't forget my name, right? And you can send that video to them, right? And again, that's working your sphere of influence. Maybe you want to do this once a month to your professional network. Maybe you're already an established agent and you want to go in and filter your smart CRM by your sphere of influence. And you want to also add hashtags to your leads so that you could filter out your inspectors, your LOs, your escrow officers, your mortgage brokers, your pest inspectors, right? Like you want to go and get those vendors. I can put them into a sphere vendor status. And then I can also add that hashtag to be more specific to maybe their industry. But I can then leverage core video and just say, hey, hey, everyone, or hey, I just wanted to, and I might not even insert a name. I might just say, hey, because I'm sending it to like 5 or 10 contacts. Just say, hey, I just was thinking about you, wanted to shoot you a quick video and to see how business has been going for you. I might have some more referrals for you coming here in the near future, but just curious, maybe you know somebody who mentioned they were wanting to sell or buy a house. If you do know someone, I'd be more than happy if you put my name in their mouth, right? Or put my name in their head. So just some really cool ideas around core video. We can also do this with core voicemail. So maybe again, going back to, I'm not a video person, I just want to be able to drop voicemails. You could do these same actions with voicemails. So I might go to select all my contacts, and then in more actions, I would go and say send voicemails, and then I would select the voicemail or record the voicemail that I want to drop into that user's inbox, right? Again, I just want to kind of recap everything that we've talked about, because we've talked about quite a bit, replicating what Zillow's done with the industry, just kind of recreating that wheel. We're going to have to fill our bucket with leads. So if you head over to Marketplace, go into the leads tab. The ones that I recommend, again, are managed pay-per-click leads, Facebook AI advertising and retargeting. And if you have listings or you're eligible or able to advertise office listings, Core Property Boost is going to be a big game changer in your business. Again, we need to fill our pipeline, and then we need to have a speed to lead campaign that consists of core video, core voicemail, or even if those products aren't for you, at least implement some sort of new lead buyer campaign that sends a plain email, sends a plain text, and you as the agent make that initial phone call to try and get them on the phone. Again, speed to lead is why Zillow has been able to change this game. They have a big ISA service that's calling and following up and sending texts and sending emails and sending postcards. And they have this big network of people working behind the scenes. And that's why you're seeing those big sticker prices when you could be replicating what they've done within kvCORE at half the cost, if not less. So Annalisa, I just want to kind of go through this chat or Q&A and see if anybody has any specific questions for us.
Well, there have been a few that are kind of outside of what we've been speaking to, but kind of related because it all kind of relates to, having campaigns and messaging for all sorts of contacts in the system. So someone is saying, hey, now can we forward leads from other sources in to kvCORE? Absolutely. Ernest, can you show your dashboard, please?
Yes.
And then also, just so everyone knows, if you didn't hear it prior, this is recorded. This will be sent out to all registrants. So if you were here, you had to leave, came late, what have you, you'll have the whole enchilada sent to you.
Yeah.
All
so,
right. And Ernest, if you wouldn't mind, so someone's asking, well, what's the Dropbox? So I just want to show everyone where that is while we're here. So you're going to go over to your lead engine on the left-hand side of kvCORE. Oh, and then when you open that up.
Let me see if I can get in.
You're in the old one, aren't you?
Yes. I need to be in the new one.
I mean, you'd think he was new.
You'd think I was.
No, I'm kidding.
I just want to
We've
make
all been
sure
there.
they're seeing the same thing on their end.
I know,
right?
I know.
Here, let's see here. Let's use an account that actually is active.
Yeah, it's just going to take a second for him to take a look for that. So basically, if you have things coming in from Zillow, you can port them directly in to kvCORE with a unique Zillow key for yourself, your team, your office, your company. It's the same idea for things like Realty Juggler or any type of online lead generated email driven contact you have. You can send them right into kvCORE.
So here we have the lead Dropbox.
Yep. So you'll go into your lead engine and then you'll look at the lead Dropbox. If you go right into the lead engine there at the top, on the top right, there's like your bulk lead import where that's your existing book of business CSV files and so forth. And then below that is the lead Dropbox, which then allows you to shoot new contacts directly into kvCORE. And you'll always be able to see what source it is, like how, like you see a lead got there, but you're like, how the heck did I land these people? You'll be able to see that pathway, much like everything else in here. So it's super handy to make those connections. And you'll see when we're looking at this, you have your own unique email for forwarding. You have your own unique Zillow key for forwarding the Zillow content, as well as zapping content into kvCORE. So there's all of these opportunities for you to port information in to kvCORE.
Yeah, great point and great question.
And I think the other thing is some people are kind of trepidatious about video initially. So, if you're kind of like, no, I don't know about this so much, what I would say is the basic core video is included. You get 10 free individual use videos per month. That means you can't add them to a campaign or anything, but if you want to spend a few weeks getting to know how to use the recorder before you put some skin in the game for $30 a month, this would be a way for you to mess around with it, get more acquainted and comfortable, and then dive into your true content. So I'm just saying that might be an option for you if you're kind of like dubious about if you can do it or not. I'd say lay down the challenge, take advantage of the free access, and then jump in.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. And watch the Overcoming the Fear webinar that we'll link, because there's a
Yeah.
lot of great content in there. I would encourage you all to not get discouraged with online lead gen, because I mean, any route you go or any source you go, they might tell you they have a higher quality lead, but we're all pulling kind of not from the same bucket per se, but we're all using the same technique in order to generate those leads. Everything's interest based. So one of the, again, the concepts that I mentioned at the beginning of this is that we're not filling our pipeline for a check tomorrow. We're filling it for the future. So even if you're getting leads maybe that aren't responding, aren't communicating, have openly said, hey, I'm renting right now, I personally would not consider a lead dead until they told you to stop contacting them or have unsubscribed. Because at some point that renter will become a buyer. And at some point that person who's openly said, I'm not ready to sell my home, will become a seller, right? So these, again, are just kind of ideas that you should always be thinking about that, hey, yeah, might be getting renter leads or people just looking. But what Zillow's done is they've continued to take those same people back to their website on a continuous basis by staying in front of them. And eventually when they're ready and raise their hand, Zillow's kind of the first one there. So you're going to be replicating that, because when the lead comes into your database, you're going to get them set up on a search alert. You're going to have a smart campaign set up to start following and nurturing those contacts. And then when it comes time, you're going to have sent them the property of interest that they like or that they are interested in, and they're going to raise their hand, and you're going to have that same effect that Zillow is doing. Don't get caught up in the whole Zillow phase, because I personally never invested $1 in Zillow. I did about 40 plus transactions a year personally and individually. And then my team was doing about 150 to 200 deals a year without Zillow or realtor.com. So don't get caught up in the fad of I need money now, because Zillow contacts, you're still going to pay the same amount of money for the same type of engagement and interaction. So the idea here is that we just need to continue to follow up with these people, right? We generated a Facebook lead, we generated a Google lead. We need to have a nurturing campaign that either A, is more personal. It says, hey, it's Ernest with Inside Real Estate, just reaching back out again to see if you're ready to buy a home or anything's changed in your life that you now need more space. Those are the types of things that you as the agent should be doing to drive more engagement and higher quality engagement. So don't get caught up if they're like, hey, I'm renting right now, or I'm looking for a rental, or I'm not ready to sell my house. Until they tell you to stop or unsubscribe, continue to have that person on a campaign, continue to send them search alerts, continue to send them market reports if they're a seller, continue to be personal with them, and let them know that you're there to help them when they're ready, right? So no lead is better than the other unless they raise their hand quicker, which if you want quicker responses and better intent, Google pay-per-click leads, I can't say they're higher quality leads, but I can say they're a little bit higher intent, being that they're the ones initiating the initial search, right? So they're going to Google, they're typing in homes for sale San Antonio, homes for sale Tampa Bay, homes for sale Nashville. I know there's somebody out there in the audience from Nashville today, so let's type in Nashville. And your ad should be one of these first ones at the top of the list, because we know statistically that somebody's not scrolling down here and clicking on like page 5 right out of the gate. They're going to go and look at that first ad and click on that first ad. So get on Google if you want a little bit better intent. If you just want to fill your bucket with as many people as possible, go with Facebook, right? Facebook AI advertising and retargeting. Or if you want to maximize your conversion, do Google and Facebook advertising and retargeting, because they feed off of each other. So we're going to be able to retarget the same audience that's landing on your kvCORE website. We're also going to target new people who are committing the keyword searches on Google, and you're going to kind of create that merry-go-round effect that Zillow's done all too well, right?
Right, and I'm getting a lot of questions here. So if you have sent me a question, I'm handling both chat and the Q&A, so I'm kind of like going crossy-wise with my eyes, but I'm trying to catch up with you. But just so you know, I'm seeing a lot of questions like, well, what happens like once they get here and we've triggered a video or we put it into a campaign? what campaigns should we use? And I think, when you look at the agent quick start on your dashboard, or you go through that training, or the agent success plan on the top right-hand side of your dash, this will explain to you how to go about connecting your campaigns, understanding the lead communication phases, as well as like that lead transaction timeline. So make sure you have attended those. In regards to campaigns and kvCORE, just real quick, if you hover over marketing on the left-hand side of kvCORE and then click on smart campaigns, you'll see your own library of your own campaigns, and then the campaign library for kvCORE. And the kvCORE one has, I think, 24-ish campaigns in there. We're always adding a couple here and there. All of these are designed to follow that communication pipeline of, are they a new buyer or a new seller? Are they active? Are they a contact? Are they a client closed sphere prospect? So it's designed to mirror the type of communication you would want with people in regards to where they are in that transaction pipeline. So I would encourage you to check these campaigns out. And then you can always just click add to library on the bar right-hand side. It zoinks, it grabs a copy of that entire campaign. You can flip it on and it just rolls for you. And of course, you can create custom situations for custom messaging, like we're talking about with core voicemail and core video, but that gives you the idea of what you can take what we've built and either add your own flavor to it, let it roll, create something brand new, but all of that's covered within that agent quick start foundational learning as well.
Yeah, and one thing to notate on that too, Annalisa, that I would iterate here is use the templates, the kvCORE templates, get those into your library. And then once you're more comfortable with customizations, then you can start going in there and customizing your campaigns. But one thing that I would do right out of the gate is if you're signing up for advertising products, get the new lead buyer campaign added, because most of those leads are going to come in with the new lead status and a contact type of buyer. And put a video. So for example, I'll show you how to do this. We'll go click add library or add to library. I'm going to head over to my smart campaigns. And then in here, I got 4 pages, so I'm a little cluttered here. So we'll just type in default new lead to do a search. And we have default new lead buyer, right? So what I would do is you could see now that this is added, we can go in and add our actions. So the first action that immediately happens is a task. Second action, or that immediately happens, is a call assignment for you as the agent to make a call. So what I would be doing is just making this a video, right? So I'm going to send a text and I want this to run immediately. I want to view this template. And then I would use maybe one of my videos inside of here, right? Same thing with a voicemail drop. So I would go ahead and I would just add a voicemail drop into that actual campaign. So those are the only 2 edits I would make. I would then let it run, see what kind of interactions I get. And as I start getting maybe some interactions I don't like at that point, then I would start going in and editing it, or sign up for one of Annalisa's training sessions so that she can train you on to how highly customize these if you wanted to.
There's all sorts of things you can do. It's crazy.
There's a lot that you can do, and it just takes a little effort. But guys, I'm telling you, if you're paying $2,000 a month for a single zip code on Zillow, you're not maximizing your ROI because you're spending a lot on just those 4 leads, right? Why spend $4,000 or $2,000 a month on 4 leads when you can spend $2,000 a month and get 100 or 150 leads, right? So just kind of the idea there. Again, if I got 150 leads today, converted 2, made 2 deals, I still have 148 contacts that I can still follow up with and eventually turn those into deals. So don't ever assume somebody's out of the race until they physically say, hey, take me out of the race, right?
And I do want to preface something. So our training department runs Q&As every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And right at the top of right-hand side of your dashboard when you log in fact, I'm going to double dog dare all of you to go in and ask questions because there's a lot of fantastic questions happening here today. And I'm going to try to catch up with them all after we're completed here because it's been like lightning and my fingers are starting to smoke. But what I would say is jump into that training calendar. You can either see it at the top right of your dashboard, or if you hover over support and training at the bottom left of your dash, you can also get to the webinar calendar there. And all of these are free courses that you can access every day. Now, so training runs Q&As Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with our expert training team. Myself, as well as Ryan Hartman and our new coach, Heather Bowden, run a next level strategy session 2-3 times a week. Right now, we're kind of restructuring those a little, so we're taking a week off this week. But you would generally see those as next level sessions on that calendar. And when we roll out a new series, you'll all be made aware. We'll send out that little chat message in an email. So if you want coaching, that would be myself and then Heather as well for some specific things. And you'll see that in the marketplace area within the coaching section across the far top right. So I handle the setups, I handle the coaching, and then we also have the next level mastermind group. And I encourage you to check out those options along with what else is Ernest is showcasing today.
Yeah, that's everything I have for all of you. Hopefully this was pretty informational on how to recreate the whole Zillow concept. Again, this isn't an attempt to bash on Zillow. This is just basically us saying, hey, we can recreate the same effect. We can recreate the same will with products that are already within marketplace, so that you don't have to go and pay astronomical prices for leads, right? These are all cost-friendly, budget-friendly products. Again, maybe you're on a budget and you only have $100 a month. Go and boost the property, get some buyer leads going into your CRM, and of course, set up smart campaigns so that you start following up with those leads and assigning yourself tasks and so forth. Right? Maybe you have a bigger budget and you want to spend $750 a month. You can do Facebook AI advertising and retargeting. You can do CORE Concierge. Core Video is only $30 a month, so it's fairly inexpensive. $30 a month. If you convert one deal using a video, you can potentially see the ROI in that, right? So, well,
when you think about diversifying all of the video that you create, I mean, one video created could be used on one of your SEO landing pages, or a landing page that you're building out of the lead engine with a video, or within a newsletter or a new listing. So you can use one piece of information and have that fasted out in a lot of different places.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and everything within our marketplace is budget friendly, right? So if there's, a product that's maybe out of your price range, there's another product that'll fit it. Again, Property Boost is everybody's go-to. Maybe you don't have $250 a month and you just want to see like, hey, I need to start filling my pipeline with leads. Property Boost. If you want to recreate, maybe you're advertising on Zillow and you want to pull back from Zillow because of everything happening in the industry, and you just maybe want to put your money somewhere else. Facebook AI advertising and retargeting, do Google pay-per-click ads. Both those together would run probably about $1,000 for both of them.
And I think someone's saying, hey, what about Google and Facebook? Can you package those? And I would say, Ernest, could you open up the marketplace and show them the core multi-channel?
Yeah, and I probably missed it just because I was in the old dashboard.
That's all right. Multi-channel is pretty groovy because it combines Facebook, Instagram lead gen ads, and Google display retargeting. So it's going to take those folks that come in via your Facebook and retarget them on the search engine Google. And then it also includes the concierge to follow up on those two particular lead types. That is a huge value. So I would say that would be a really good option if you wanted to have both Facebook and Google plus an assistant helping you try to warm qualify these people. That's a pretty solid package.
Yeah, and by combining them,
Derek Sinclair. Wait, what? I just saw him like, "Bo."
Yeah, by combining them, we give you a rocking deal. Because we talked about CORE Concierge at $350, we talked about Facebook AI at $250, and Google starts off, I think, at $750 now. You only get it for $750 a month. That's basically Zillow's plan in a nutshell, right there, right? So, they do call and text contacts. Also,
the concierge,
CORE Concierge follows up as well, is that they will assign hashtags and notify you as the agent when somebody who's raised their hand and is ready to talk to an agent. So We have a lot of questions about lenders coming through.
Yeah, I was about to say,
I don't want to overstep any boundaries, but I can't speak specifically to RESPA and CFPB, but yes, lenders can contribute to your market share or your market spend.
Yeah.
So just email the email that Annalisa has provided in the chat section. Let our billing department know how much they're responsible for. You guys are responsible for doing the rest and making sure you stay compliant. But yes, they can contribute to it. I believe it used to be like 50% of, but I'm not gonna.
I don't talk numbers.
I won't specify that anymore. So.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, you need to just talk to billing. They have it all keyed in and dialed in. So
yes,
I will be your escort to billing to talk with them.
But yeah, you can do that.
Oh,
so that is doable.
Here's something that gets me every time. Ron Piccolo saying, hey, my left side of my dashboard is not showing all of the names. It's just icons. Okay, real easy way to bring the names back on those icons is you could close that window on Concierge. See that little hamburger at the top there, those little 3 lines? If you click that, it actually expands that menu out. If you click it again, it detracts it. And that gets me all the time. And I'm like, wait, what the? And then I fix it, right? But that's just one of those little things.
Yeah.
So hopefully that was a good help. Now, I know there's been a lot of questions that have come through. I am going to work with Ernest on grabbing a copy of the Q&As as well as the chat, and I'll fine tooth these and make sure we get some information compiled for the follow-up email that Ernest will send with the recording for this course to all the registrants. So I'll take a look and try to help him get something that all encompasses even like the side questions that came in regarding other things, because there's probably things you're wondering but haven't had a chance to ask. So we'll try to make sure it's well-rounded response.
Yeah, and the last question that came in on the core multi-channel that we lastly discussed,
right?
Anticipated is about 20 to 40 contacts. So that's roughly about how many. So you could see that on Zillow, I was only going to get 4 contacts.
Well, 4.7.
4.7. I got 0.7 of someone that I can talk to, which I don't know how that. Maybe they leave like the 7th digit off their number or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I got to play the guessing game through all their 9 digits to get it. So you could see that $2,100 a month versus $750 a month. I'm getting a minimum of 20, right? Or at least 20 contacts over 4 contacts. I'm 5 timesing my my value and reducing my cost per lead. So.
All right. Well, it looks like we are coming to the end of our time with you today. I had a lot of fun with this, and I hope everyone else did too. Please jump into the chat box. Let us know. Did you have fun? Did you learn something? Yes, no, maybe. You like cheese? I don't know. Something. All right. Well, thanks everyone for being here. We'll make sure to get some follow-up to you that has a lot of good information to kind of lead you down the path to these different products we discussed. The core multi-channel was the last one we covered, and that handles the retargeting with Google, the Facebook AI with Instagram lead form ads, and a concierge helper. So that's a pretty niche suite of deal. And with that said, Ernest, thanks for having me.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Annalisa, for joining us. And lastly, on that note, you can still generate free leads with kvCORE. So if you wanted to, you don't have to pay. I saw some questions coming in there. Lead engine, building landing page, building squeeze page. They'll be your best friend. Watch all the demos and trainings on that. And
there's actually a new video at insiderealestate.com/webinars. And it's 35 ways to generate free leads in kvCORE. So I am going to double dog dare it that you all go over to the YouTubes and find that video, but I'll make sure we also get it linked in the follow-up email. And with that said, we got to go.
Bye, everyone. Have a good day.